Something is telling me this will be perhaps my lengthiest yap to date. So settle in with a little beverage, a blunt, get cozy, pull out your yoga mat, do some stretches while we talk about the universe. I have a lot of cards here. I pulled a reading last night. Sometimes I like to pull them the night before and kind of like let it sit with me. And then today I looked up exactly what time the nodes changed, and I swear I felt something shift in the energy. And so I wanted to pull a new reading because I was like, okay, like where I feel like something's changed. Like, what's the new energy? But I took a picture of the old one so I could like, look back at it, and I was like, no, I feel like this one makes sense. I feel like the original one was a bit more personal. So. Yeah, keeping that in mind. Before we talk about this, it's not even, I was gonna say self-care Sunday, but it's actually Saturday. Well, it's almost midnight, so it's almost self-care Sunday, but I hope you do nice things for yourself this weekend. Actually, one thing, so as predicted, I've kind of like been hinting at like I don't know, I just had theories that maybe people who didn't vote for Trump would just be feeling a bit like sensitive at this time of year. And I was talking on my Tumblr, like literally just about, I don't know, I was like reblogging some like Donald Trump tweets and like talking about The Apprentice and stuff. And like I got probably like two or three messages from people being like, "Oh my God, are you a Trump supporter? Oh my God, he's like a fascist. Like I can't believe you." And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, what? Like I'm literally just talking about like just a general thing and they're like taking it very personally and like I don't know. So I knew that would be coming and the cards actually reflect that quite a bit. So that's an energy that we're moving out of. So people that act like that, those are people that are in an old earth. And if you're in a new earth, like all you can do is kind of just like giggle and just be like, oh my God, like, okay, well, you'll catch up soon. Like I'm not here to fight. I'm not here, like, it's not up to me to change your perspective. All I can do is just be like, okay, well, I don't have time to argue with you. That's not in my energy. That's not in my heart. So, the reason I've gathered you here today is because the nodes change signs. So the nodes do this, every 18 months, I think, and they move like retrograde through the signs. So they have been in Aries, North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra. And the way I'm kind of reading that in retrospect is like, for the last year and a half, you've been shown like, um, what song is this? Breakout by Miley Cyrus. Um, do Yeah, Bruno Mars. That's the vibe. Locked out of heaven. Okay. So it has been showing you like where you've been keeping yourself stuck in things that are fake, like maybe you're like taking a lot of like passionate forward movement towards things that aren't necessarily for your highest good. Whereas what I heard, like this was like literally like clairaudience came to me, heard it today. Um, oh, I wrote it down. What was it? I thought it was really good. It was kind of like an analogy for like a plane landing. Like, if you're at the airport, it's a really foggy day, like your city, like where you're taking off from, it can be perfectly clear. But if where you're landing, if that plane cannot ground safely, it will not be allowed to take off. So it's the same thing with like the North Node in Aries is sorry, the North Node now is in Pisces. So it's a very like dreamy, like big things coming to fruition, right? But it's like to me, since the South Node is in Virgo, that's an earthy, very grounded energy. So it's like if the universe won't give you things until it knows they can be grounded safely. So it's like we can all kind of breathe a sigh of relief knowing that like the things that are coming for us are what are meant for us, especially if you have been on this journey and doing the work. Okay, capital DTW. I'm gonna make sure it's Okay, so I used three different decks. I pulled out for the first time the Surrealist Tarot deck. And I did like three different energy streams. I don't even know how to explain like what's coming through here. But I have a lot of notes and I have journal prompts that you can use to like kind of navigate your own feelings if you are feeling a lot and don't know where to start. And maybe if you can't afford therapy. I still haven't gotten a call about my first therapy appointment, so I'm gonna follow up on that. So first of all, I got three cards from the Surrealist Tarot deck. So we got the Nine of Pentacles, first of all. So to me, this is kind of showing about how, like, when it was in Aries and Libra, it was like, since you're being exposed to like all the fake things around you, there's like, okay, like, I have to do everything by myself. Like, oh shit, like everything around me isn't working. I'm noticing that picture behind me is crooked right now. I need to fix that. So I wrote down. Yeah, so it's self-reliance, discipline, and independence. So like this served us in an old earth because like you have to be able to stand on your own when you're realizing what's not for you and kind of like severing yourself from those things. Um, but then that's the like in a new earth, like in order to be in abundance, like there's unity consciousness. Like you have to accept like we're all in this together. Like it's High School Musical is what's happening. So you can ask yourself, where are you reluctant to accept help and why? And what people or things feel like a threat to your independence and why? Um, and then we have the tower. The tower is coming in to destroy the old templates because also Pluto and Aquarius, so there's a lot of changes happening. Like all the big planets are shifting right now. So things have felt kind of stuck for a while, but now it's very big and I love it. Um, so the tower is like, you know what the tower is. You can just tell, like, does that look, this is the surrealist deck, so obviously it's like a warped perception, but you can ask yourself, what are you wasting your energy trying to control? Because like none of this stuff is in your control. So if you're trying to resist these things and like hold on to the templates of an old earth, then like you're gonna be met with resistance or like people like laughing at you. Like, I don't know, like you're just not gonna be taken seriously because it's not serious. Um, and how can you surrender to divine timing? I have been I've been really wanting things to happen because it's like I feel like I'm SpongeBob and I'm like, "Ah," like that is how I feel. Like all the way. Like I'm like, I am embodied. So why is this not showing up for me? So then I'm just like, okay, I just have to let go. Because I'm like, if it's not showing up for me, maybe it's not what's for me anymore. But I don't want to like, it's like you can't, sometimes you got to close the door to open a window, right? So it's like everything is still available. Like you have to open yourself up. You have to remember that anything is possible. Instead of just like giving yourself tunnel vision. If you give yourself tunnel vision, then you're gonna crash. Okay, and then so this is healing masculine energies because masculine energies have not felt safe to feel. I made like a little mini yap about this on Tumblr today. I was talking about Gossip Girl and the male archetype. Maybe I'll make like a yap dedicated to this one day. I'm growing a little content list of things I want to talk about, but I just kind of want to like delve into them a bit before I sit down and just like stream of consciousness talk because sometimes that's good and then sometimes I just go in circles and I don't even make the points I'm trying to make. But I don't like I'm not the kind of person that can sit down and like watch a really like structured video. Like if someone's gonna write an essay and then make a video about it, like I don't know. I'm just like an intuitive creator more so. Um, so in a new earth, you cannot depend on like that material security in the same way you have been able to in an old earth. Okay. It's like if you're not doing the spiritual work, like you're gonna struggle to find fruitful relationships or like build anything of substance because again like what's like now it's like your vibration is currency in a new earth, okay, because if you're in the right vibration you'll always be abundant, even if you are maybe physically lacking momentarily. If you're in the right energy you can always attract it back to you. That's embodying the magician. um so and this is why masculines need divine feminine energy, because if the emperor without the empress, he becomes an egomaniac. The Empress can live without the Emperor, okay? But the Emperor, he needs and if not the Empress, he needs strong feminine influences in his life. Um, so you can ask yourself, how do you nurture your masculine versus your feminine energies? And what does embodied Emperor energy look like to you? So maybe if you don't have like a really strong father figure, like do you have even it can be like fictional heroes that you think are like a really strong like embodiment of like, okay, this is like the male archetype of like what I would like to attract in a partner, like what I would like to be myself. But you just need to like look for those examples of that energy. Um, and then our good friend Bobby Dylan came to say hello too. Where did he go? Oh, he's over here. Little trickster. Bobby. So obviously this is like indicative of the times they are a changing. But he said some good things on this card too. He said, um, he has something about like nostalgia is for two-time losers. And I was talking about recently too about how Donald Trump's whole thing is like he just doesn't like losers. Like he doesn't like people who can't stand up for themselves or like who don't know what they're fighting for, I guess, or just like he doesn't like sheep. Um, so don't let nostalgia for what was, keep you from making progress or like responding to what is. And that, if you haven't seen A Complete Unknown yet, that basically is the whole premise of that movie. I've made like other videos about that on here, talking about how like everyone around Bob was resistant to him changing. And then so like that was their nostalgia for like maybe the relationship they had with him when he was a past version of himself. But now it's like because he's different, he, in order to be his friend, you have to show up differently. Like you have to respond to who he is, if that makes sense. Um, oh, this is something this came to me a few years ago, and I used to say it all the time, and I didn't really embody it, but now I do embody it. And it's that you don't exist for other people's pleasure. So just know that you just exist to like do what you're here to do. And that's not always going to satisfy everyone, but like if you're conscious, if you're on purpose and you're doing what you're meant to do, then like sure, maybe yeah, you're probably going to like trigger some people or whatever, but it's like it's not your responsibility to nurture them and like be do no harm but take no shit. Okay? Okay. And then so I had the Light Seers tarot deck after this, and these I think are kind of like I don't even know. Okay, I'm just going to talk about what they mean because all of this comes together in the end. It's just the cards speak in different ways. So this one is kind of like, oh, this is more like the feminine energy, actually. So the first three I showed you were kind of more like the masculine. This is more like the feminine energy. Um, so you have to find balance between your masculine and feminine energy so you can attract relationships that are aligned. Because like if you are, so let's say me, when I had both wounded feminine and masculine energy. So I attracted partners who mirrored that back to me. And it was hell. Oh my God, it was hell. It's like I was torturing myself and I was like addicted to like being in pain. Like I don't even know. I used to just like accept so much bullshit that I never would now. You know what I mean? And I'm so much because I was scared of being alone and like feeling like I was unlovable. But now, like I am love. So it doesn't matter if like I don't have a romantic partner. Like I have myself always. Um, so you can kind of like if you know that you have like wounds regarding like romantic relationships or like how I was talking about if you haven't seen like a healthy masculine embodied, like have you seen like healthy relationships embodied? And if not, like start to ask yourself like what does that look like to you? Or like what would your ideal relationship look like so that you don't start to settle for less than that. Um and ask yourself if there's wounds from like past connections or from childhood that you could be projecting onto people trying to love you. It sucks when people do that to you. I mean, I've been guilty of doing it to people before, but I'm very good at recognizing it. Like as soon as someone calls me on my shit, I try to figure out right away, okay, why am I acting this way so that I can stop it? Because then if you understand the pattern, then you can break it. But if you don't, you're just going to keep unconsciously repeating it. And then we have the Two of Wands, which is like, someone planning, but you see there's the globe there. So it's like the world is yours, but only if you like embody the energy of the magician, only if you know that it's up to you to be conscious. Because if you're not conscious, you're living in sin. If you don't know why you're doing what you're doing. And it's so easy in this world to not know why you're doing what you're doing. So always just catch yourself. If you feel in a low vibrational mood, if you're in a slump, if you're in a period of inertia, like, why am I doing this? Why am I laying in bed? Why am I scrolling? Like, what can I do to feel better? And don't be mean to yourself. Don't judge yourself. Just become conscious and do better. Um, so take accountability for your masculine and feminine energy so that you can focus inward and stop projecting onto others. So as soon as you realize that, like, oh, there's like any lack in my life is just like a result of like imbalanced energy within myself. So then as soon as you take accountability and start going inwards to like fix yourself, then you stop looking outwards and trying to make other people the problem and like keeping yourself stuck. Because that's what we were doing in an old earth is like drama loops. That's what they want. They want to suck all your energy out, fighting with people and being negative and seeing people as the enemy. But it's just you versus you. And then we have the Four of Cups. So this is like, I mean, boredom been here, but also boredom is like, you have to remember that boredom is a breeding ground for bad decisions, right? I think I actually wrote that down. And I also said, so visualize your highest self and start showing up as them. So instead of like being bored, um, like just get excited about the life, like the little routines that are making you a good person. Like I have a few things that like I do throughout the week that just kind of keep me on track and keep me aligned. Like every Sunday I do like a self-care bath, and like on Saturdays lately I've been like going to get a smoothie and then like going to the gym for like an hour, and just like little things like that that like I don't know, they make my life a little bit more exciting. Um And yeah, so oh, that is what I wrote. How can you make healing a more exciting process? Like turn your frown upside down, okay? We're healing, we're all in this together. I think I said that already, but it is. It's High School Musical. Okay, and this is the next batch of cards. So these are like the Surrealist Tarot again. This is the Hanged Man. We have been here for far too long. We're coming out of it. You know the Killer song, Mr. Brightside, coming out of my cage, and I've been doing just fine. Because you see the Hanged Man? He is just fine. He's like, you know what? I've been upside down. I've been contemplating. And so, like how I was saying, like the nodes change signs every 18 months. So, like if you have been on the fool's journey with me for the last 18 months, like I woke up, a few cycles ago, but like the last 18 months, I've really been embodied on purpose. If you have been on this journey with me, then you will know with a great certainty, um, that you can see the world from a higher perspective. You know that like what's happening politically, like it's not impacting you in that way that it is some other people where it's like if anyone says the T word, like their vibration is suddenly lowered and they're triggered and they're like, oh my God, I can't affiliate with you if you have anything to say. But it's just like, oh, like you're worried about bigger things. Okay, so we're coming out of that, if maybe you've been in this like spiritual, like ascending, awakening. Um, so what perspectives are you holding on to that feel out of date? Now's a good time to evaluate that. And you can even ask yourself, like, what are some perspectives you've been able to shift over the past few months? Like, I know, God, there's so many for me. I actually was thinking about writing a book, like a book of essays about everything I've learned. I don't know. We'll see how that comes together, but we have the world. Taylor Swift is playing right now. She has like five good songs, and this is one of them, and Sparks Fly. Um, so the world is like it's the end of a cycle, right? So it's like the nodes have shifted. So now we have this new beginning, this new energy, and it feels so good. So how's your life evolved over the last 18 months? Like where were you in the summer of 2023? My life looked so much fucking different. Um, so with each node shift, this is just my prediction. It's like more people will begin to awaken. And then it's like, so since, I was really embodied during the last shift, now it's like I'm kind of stepping out as more of like a teacher, like more of like a guru, right? And then so if you are on purpose for the next 18 months, maybe when they go into Aquarius and Leo. Oh yeah, it will be Aquarius and Leo, which actually I'm a Leo North node, Aquarius South node, so it's like the opposite of me. So this will probably be a very good time for me too, actually. Um, Maybe I'll be like an ascended master at that point, a Jedi master. I already do feel like a Jedi master, to be honest. So the universe is just on like a constant quest to balance energy. Um, and so is like if you know that, like you all you can do is play your part and like balance your energy. That's all you're responsible for. Because this is the old earth template is trying to balance everyone else's energy for them and being like, oh my God, you're out of balance, you're out of balance, you're out of balance. Instead of like just looking at yourself and being like, am I even in balance? Or am I being pulled in every fucking direction from everyone around me? That's not your responsibility. So conflict is a huge motivator for the ego. Like you can think you're being really productive by like solving all this conflict, but it's like that's not your soul's purpose. I mean, maybe a little bit. Like sometimes it is your purpose to like help people see things differently, but it's like not if it's at a detriment to your own growth. So what conflicts can you resolve to take back your energy? Like what can you leave behind you in this old cycle and what don't you want to bring in this new cycle with you? And then our good friend Tina Turner came through. She's our sponsor today. Um, so she says it's not what happens, it's how you deal with it. And I love that because it's like these problems. I want to make a video about how we're playing the game of life. I initially thought that's what this video was going to be, but the cards thought said differently. So, um, oh my God, I love this. Fuck you, Taylor Swift. Because so we're all playing this game of life, right? And it's like no matter what, you're gonna be faced with situations. And so you can either take like the lower vibrational route and see things as like life is happening to you, and that's when you're in victim mode, you're out of the present moment, or you can see yourself as like an active participant in the game of life. And that is when you win no matter what, because you are being conscious and you're getting something from it, even if it's hard, even if it's like you're struggling a little bit, even if you don't look good to other people because that's where the beauty is. That's where the growth is. Um, Purge your life of whatever brings you down. We can't bring that into a new earth. not in a new earth. Okay? Thank you, Tina. Okay. And then so when you leave behind, you leave your baggage behind in an old earth, you can speed up like the fucking chariot, okay? We keep getting this card. I keep seeing it all the time everywhere. So once you see what you're responsible for and what you don't, and that you don't have to do everything alone, things move forward much faster. Yeah, because you want to. My Humps by the Black Eyed Peas is playing now. That is just a sign to me, period. There's gonna be more booty shaking. There's gonna be more fun. Leave the old shit behind you. Move into a new earth, people. Like, accept it. Like, love is the way. Love is the answer. Okay, this is Ten of Wands. This is leaving behind this strife. You see, this person is trying to carry all this stuff with them. I respect it. Bring your animals, bring your pets into a new earth. Okay, bring all your love into a new earth. Even bring your trauma into a new earth, but be ready to work through it. Okay? So yeah, this is like restlessness and overextension. So like if you're trying to bring too much of your old self into a new earth and it's making you tired, leave behind what doesn't have to be carried anymore. Like just drop it, release. There's a Mac Miller quote. What song is it? I think it's Blue World. He says, I let it go, but I never go with it. That is the hardest lesson I've had to learn. Master Yoda talks about this too, you guys. You have to let things go. And like I'm the kind of person like everything I've ever let go of has claw marks on it. But like once you do let go and you just take your power back and you just do the next right thing for you, it feels so good because you feel on purpose. You feel like Michael fucking Jordan. I can't even explain it, but like my energy when I'm on purpose versus like when I'm just being an NPC, oh my God, it's exponentially different. Um, so you have to know your limits and set boundaries accordingly. And release any shame. Shame is the lowest vibrational thing. Do not hold on to that shit. Don't feel shame. Just accept, yes, that was me. I did that. I've done those things, but I'm here right now and I'm present and I'm trying to do better. If you can be present in the present moment, it doesn't matter anything that you've done in the past, as long as you do right with this present moment. All that matters. Um, and what are your favorite ways to play? You need to have more fun. That's how you can forget about shame. We all need to have more fun. Page of Wands, fun. Um, I forgot the lyrics. I always said, just so you know, just putting this out there, if they ever wanted to do like a Black Eyed Peas, a new one, I could be the new Fergie. I think that's kind of, I would be great at that. So I'm just putting that out there. If anyone wants to do it, hit me up. Um, okay, so the Page of Wands, this is like passion and like overcoming an obstacle. So sometimes you have to see things like through the minds, or like the mind or the eyes of a child, right? And just kind of like forget about all that like trauma and stress and like all of the negativity that everyone around you is trying to like put onto you and tell you like, oh my God, like you have to live life like from these eyes and like see things like from like eyes of despair and just like wallowing in like victimhood. Like be like, no, I'm free. I am playing the game of life. I am winning. And because no one loses. If we're all conscious together, we're all winning. Um, so what is your inner child craving? Like me, like my inner child loves to watch like all those shows that I grew up on. Like I said, I've been watching Mind Freak. I've been watching like just any old like reality shows like from back in the day, you know what I mean? Like I'll just like eat foods from like my childhood or just like do things like I went to the trampoline park, I went sledding, I color, I do like anything that my inner child craves. I play dress up. I get beautified and I take photos of myself. Like I do anything that like makes me feel good. Um, and it's great. Like I love my life. I really like the only thing I want someone to share it with. So I'm just waiting for that to come together. Um, okay, this is the final batch of cards we have, you guys. So strength. This one came out in the original reading I did beside the King of Cups, which is the next one. So like these are really important messages. And also the Ten of Wands wanted to come out in the last reading too. So that one is a big one too. Like leaving behind burdens in favor of play is what we're doing, okay? Because burdens are fake. They're made up. They're for the ego. And they make the ego feel like, oh my God, like I'm suffering. I'm doing this for something. But it's like, no, like you're allowed to have fun. We're all allowed to play together. Life is a fucking playground. Like we should treat it like that. We should respect Mother Earth. We need to be more like the characters in Avatar. That's another video I have to make is how life is like Avatar. Um, but strength. So ask yourself, like, when do you feel most strong? So, like, for me, like, I went to the gym today and actually I did 2 miles without a single stimulant in my body. All I had was a booster juice smoothie, and that shit fueled me, okay? And I felt really good about that. I felt, and sometimes I feel like I channel Michael Jordan in my workouts because it's like Haley was done 10 minutes in, but Michael Jordan, he comes to me, he's like, we're done when I say we're done, bitch. Like, keep going. And actually, I got to 45 minutes and um, uh, I thought that, or Michael wanted me to go for an hour, but we compromised. And then we stopped at 45. And yeah, that was pretty good. And yeah, so if you've been on purpose for the last 18 months, like it should have kind of helped you step into your inner strength and shown you like where competition is futile and like how other people can slow you down, dude. Like don't let them. So the King of Cups. So this is like sensitivity, grace giving. So it's like you have to be able to like, like support the people that you care about without getting stuck in them. I think this card came out recently and I kind of had like the same message. So yeah, just like how can you serve without taking on other people's karma, right? So for me, it's like um I analyze the world and I see what's going on and then I just kind of like share my perspective and that's how I serve. But like I know that I could never like be a personal therapist and like listen to people and like whatever, but like I'm always happy to be of service and like share my perspective to people who are receptive to it. And so we have the Ace of Swords. So um uh you have to know your truth. I think I've said before that like when you oh, Megan the Stallion. Sorry, girl, we can't listen to you right now. We'll do some Beyonce. Um, when your vision is crystal clear, it's razor sharp, right? So like it's like when you know your truth and when you're on purpose, like no one or nothing can take that away from you. So if you just show up and you are embodied, nothing can fuck with you. Um, And how do you know when something is true? Like for me, I'm just so like I'm embodied, It's like so it's just like a feeling to me. Like I'm like, okay, yes, no. I don't know, it's second nature to me, but also I can remember times when it's like I didn't even know how to trust like the own voices in my head because I have mental illness. Like I have bipolar and when I wasn't medicated like when I get really manic it manifests as OCD and I would get intrusive thoughts and it's like I could not leave my house without having to take a video of myself locking the front door so that I could watch it while I was in class so that I knew my door was locked so that like because I just would have intrusive thoughts about the worst things happening because my brain was trying to sabotage me. And so that's literally how I started exercising and stuff. Because before, like, I hated exercise. I was like, oh my God, this is like punishment. But then I was like, oh no, I can use this as a tool to heal my mind. And it has transformed my life. And that is why I urge everyone that I care about, everyone that I have to work with, I'm like, move your body. Do something nice to your body. Move it, please, for the love of God. Like, don't like heal your monkey mind, okay? Because I don't want to see you suffer, especially if I have the solutions. Like I would just want to share them. Um, Kendrick Lamar came through, another sponsor. I haven't listened to his new album yet. Um, and so he says become the cure, not the symptom, right? So instead of like being the symptom of like the trauma of everyone else around you and like giving in to like their negativity, because it's like you become like the people you spend the most time around with, right? And unfortunately, a lot of us like spend time around people who are maybe not so empowered due to circumstances beyond our control. So it's like you want to become the person that makes them maybe want to be a little bit better instead of just repeating cycles. And then all right popped in my head. So as long as God's got us, we gonna be all right, which is so true. There was a few years, like I've gone to many doctors over the years about being bipolar, and I've had a lot of terrible experiences, a lot. Like I can't even, oh my God. I literally lost hope in the medical system for a while there. But at one point, after I finished school, I came back to my parents' house for a while, and then I went to the doctor. This was before I had been diagnosed with bipolar, and it was just like a random like doctor at my family doctor's office. And I was talking to him, and I like kind of told him my story, whatever. And then he just looked at me, and one of the first things he said was like, "Get right with God." And that was the first time anyone in the medical industry had ever said, like, brought anything about religion into it. And like, it resonated with me. And from then I did. I went and I got right with God. And then, like, within a few months, I got my own apartment. And then I spent 2 years on my own becoming. And then the last, like, I don't know, like 6 months, I've been back at my parents again. And then so that was integrating. And now I am embodying and I am um doing my best every day to be present. So that's where we're at. So yeah, okay. So I have three more cards for you guys, and then I'll leave you alone until there's a full moon in a few days, so then I'll be back. The Eight of Wands. Forward movement. There's lots of movement that will be coming. Um, so yeah, this is swiftness, problem solving. So take stock and take action because there's always some sort of action you can take. It's like you usually just have to like break it down because we tend to overcomplicate things. And obviously now like bureaucracy makes everything so much harder than it needs to be. But like if you just kind of like take a deep breath and again, like know that you can ask for help. Like stop thinking you have to do everything alone, right? Be like, okay, who can I help? Who in my life is a good resource? Um, so you can ask yourself, are your priorities aligned with your vision? Oh, and this is where I wrote if it can't ground safely, it won't be allowed to take off. So just know that you're protected. Okay, the Two of Cups. Love. We keep getting this card too. So how can you make room in your life for like the love that you want to come in? So even like in feng shui, for example, like if you want to attract a partner, it's good to have like a nightstand on both sides of your beds, both sides of your bed. And so when I learned that, I put a nightstand on both sides of my bed. And I told my future husband that. So I mean, I hope he did the same thing. So we'll see. But anyways, I mean, I've done it. So regardless, I'm attracting a good partner. Um, and also name 10 things you love about yourself. Because like if you're feeling like you have a lack of love from other people in your life, like sometimes it's just like you need to it's because you don't need it from other people. You need love from yourself more than you need love from other people. So give it to yourself and start by it can be as simple as yeah, naming things that you love about yourself or like do something nice to yourself. And then so the last card we have is the King of Pentacles. Um and so this is like success gained through principled intellect. So, we finished a cycle, you guys. And again, if you were on purpose, like you've leveled up, like welcome to the next level, welcome to a new earth. Um, so if you can't rely on yourself, you'll never be able to commit to anyone else. So it's like maybe some people are still like being non-committal. I know actually I was just dealing with this with my mom. My mom is terribly non-committal. I'm like, why? Because I hate that shit. Like why can't you just like say yes and be like, okay, yes, I can do this at this time. Some people don't like to be controlled. They can't be tamed, whatever. So how can you be more committed to your highest timeline? So start committing to yourself more, and then you'll be able to commit to other people, and then you'll have fruitful relationships. That is how we build a new earth, my friends. I'm really excited. I feel good about the energy. I'm having like period cramps right now, and they hurt kind of a lot. But tomorrow's a new day, and I'm gonna do my self-care Sunday bath. And if I don't go to the gym, I'm gonna do like a big long yoga video, like a nice big stretch. And I'm gonna do some work. I'll get organized for the week. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Okay, you guys. I love you all so much. If you watched all of that, you're awesome. And if you watched maybe 1 minute of it, you're awesome too. But I'm happy to be building a new earth with you. Bye.